The deadly shooting inside a Charleston, South Carolina church is being investigated as a hate crime. A shooter opened fire during a prayer meeting in the church Wednesday night.
We were able to determine that there were 8 deceased individuals inside of the church. 2 individuals were transported to MUSC. One of them has died. So at this point, we have 9 victims.
The church is historically black, while the gunman is described as a young white male.
We are looking for a white male, approximately 21 years old, sandy blonde hair, and he obviously is extremely dangerous.
Charleston's police chief says he believes the killing was a hate crime. Local activists say they have no doubt.
There was a Caucasian white man walking to an African-American church and opened fire while people were praying, having Bible study. That's unacceptable.
We don't know if this shooting was racially motivated.
It was!
One of the dead was a state senator who was also the church's pastor. A group of church pastors held a prayer vigil near the crime scene shortly after the shooting. Charleston's police chief says officers thought a police dog had tracked the suspect late Wednesday evening, but he managed to get away. Matt Small, The Associated Press.
The suspect came to the church and he asked for the pastor. Where's the pastor? They showed him where the pastor was. He sat next to my cousin, Reverend Clemente Pinckney, throughout the entire Bible study. At the conclusion of the Bible study, from what I understand, they just start hearing loud noises just ringing out. And he had already wounded, the suspect had already wounded a couple of individuals, including my cousin, Reverend Clemente Pinckney. I'm one of the survivors, and she said that he had reloaded 5 different times. And her son was trying to talk him out of doing the act of killing people. And he just said, I have to do it. He said, you rape our women and you're taking over our country. And you have to go.
At 9:05 this evening, we received a call of a shooting that had occurred at the church here on Calhoun Street. When officers arrived, they found a number of victims inside, and we had also individuals that were transported to the MUSC Emergency Trauma Center. We were able to determine that there were 8 deceased individuals inside of the church. 2 individuals were transported to MUSC. One of them has died. So at this point, we have 9 victims in this heinous crime that has been committed. We are looking for a white male, approximately 21 years old, sandy blonde hair, and he obviously is extremely dangerous.
People in prayer on a Wednesday evening, a ritual, coming together, praying and worshiping God, to have a awful person come in and shoot them is inexplicable, obviously the most intolerable and unbelievable act possible.
I do believe this was a hate crime.
Is that why the FBI is here? Is it being investigated as a hate crime?
It will be investigated as a hate crime, but the FBI would be here regardless because of the size and scope of the investigation, and they're our partners, and they would be here to help us regardless, but they're here for that specific person also. This tragedy that we're addressing right now is undescribable. No one in this community will ever forget this night. And as a result of that, and because of the pain and because of the hurt that this individual has caused this community, this entire community, the law enforcement agencies that are working on this are committed and we will catch this individual. The important thing for you as the media is to help us catch this individual. You have the ability to get this picture, to get this car out to places quickly. A broad perspective of media is here, social media. Please help us to help our community.
You have a horrible, hateful person go into a church and kill people there to pray and worship with each other is something that is beyond incomprehensible and is not explained. But this is what we can do. Now, we can catch this no good, horrible person and see that he pays the price. And then what we will do, and what this community has always done, is we're going to put our arms around that church and that church family. You will see an outpouring of love and assistance and kindness and help. And these people, these citizens, these families, and the Chief and I met with them last night and hugged as many as we could. There were probably a couple of hundred in there, families and friends, and weeping and distraught. Mothers and grandmothers and fathers and grandfathers were killed in their church. And we extended to them for our community. And we will work to heal them and love them and support them and that church as long as we live.